Hi folks, my name is Brian Gandy and I am a horticulturist. I have been working with LED-based horticulture systems since 2014, so I figure 10 years is a pretty good run. I wanted to catch up on a video series that I started back in 2020 and just look at some of the commonly available fixtures and features of LED horticulture systems on the market. And yeah, I just love the subject. I love plants. And I'm like everybody else, I hate the lighting sales guy. So now that I've left 3 years at a company, I can go back and just be straightforward on my opinions. And even though I stand by the company I used to work for, I like to look at all of what's available on the market and how these things will work for growers, because I am at first a grower and a plant enthusiast, and I love the tech. And if I got anything wrong, let me know. If you have any questions that I didn't get to or something that I need to point back out, give me a shout. Thanks for watching. All right, folks, what I've got in front of me is this behemoth that I just comically lifted up onto the table here. This fixture is the FoHse A3I. It's one of the first fixtures. This one is a couple years old, but it's worth mentioning because this company is still out there. I will say that they're definitely one of the strongest companies for marketing overall in the space, but in my experience, bigger is not always better. I will say the good, the bad, and the ugly for all of the fixtures that I put up here. So I'll start with, it's built like a tank. It's a huge fixture. The reason I showed myself putting it up on the table is because I would not personally want to be on a ladder trying to hang these things up on Unistrut. It's 1500 watts. You could just have more smaller fixtures and actually get better uniformity and even higher PPFD using 600, 700, 800 watt fixtures that one person can hang. So that's one knock on it, in my opinion. They have these optics. It's a 120-degree secondary optic over these clusters of chips. I personally think this is, well, good news first. I really like the component protection because LEDs are fragile little creatures and we've got to protect them. I don't love how the chips are clustered together because of the thermal management of the chips. So right here, and I'll show another image over this, we've got 7 chips in one little cluster. That would be similar to like a cob chip or a chip on board, but the chip in the middle is definitely going to run hotter than the chip surrounding it. And when an LED runs hotter, it draws more current. So that chip is actually going to wear out faster than the one surrounding it. And when you have that kind of thing happen, you get what's called current hogging, which, again, I can't speak personally to the failure rate or the degradation of these fixtures. I do know that when we tested this a couple of years ago, it did test about the same as a double-ended high-pressure sodium. And, you know, for the money and for the weight and for the price at the time, I don't think would be a great fixture to buy myself. But they are extremely popular in the marketplace. There's a lot of people out there that are loyalists, so I wanted to put this one up and talk about it. Finally, I've had it and been moving it around like a box of rocks for the last couple of years. These bars do swivel, which, again, is nifty, but is it necessary? If you've got the optics that are focusing the light already in 3 dimensions, if you're tilting the angle in 2 dimensions, it seems maybe like overkill, at least for me. The other thing that's different about FoHse, at least in their older offerings, I think they have some newer fixtures that have either fixed spectrum or, you know, they still have spectrum tuning available, but They have the spring, summer, and fall modes, but all of those three, even the spring, have more far red in them than any of the other competitors out there. There's kind of a sweet spot in my experience for far red. So too much can lead to unwanted morphological effects, or longer, stretchier growth. You might get really big plants or really big flowers, but that doesn't always translate to a good product in the end. So to control this thing, you have to use their controller, which has the spring, summer, fall. I mean, it's got some nice function built in. Again, this UI, this unit has probably been updated in the last few years, so keep in mind that this is a 2021 fixture in 2024, but I know that they still sell this model. And I'll pull up the specs from the most recent DLC listing so that I can speak currently about their efficacy numbers, because I know that there was some gaming of the DLC system to make their fixtures look more efficient than they actually were. I mean, that's the long and the short of it. The proprietary dimming control, hooking it up in a commercial environment, to me seems problematic. The weight of the overall thing, while it is robust, it could also be dangerous. They do make smaller fixtures. In my old videos, I would open up the chassis and look at the power supplies. I'm not going to do that. One, they may have changed their power supplies the last couple years. Two, I don't want to get sued for giving away their design stuff. The whole marketing and branding behind this company is bigger, badder, booyah. But I personally wouldn't hang this up in my garden. So this is the FoHse A3I. I don't know what else to say about it.